So, hello everyone, I'm here with my review of Karakuri episode 19. The father's out there, right? We know Sadayoshi's backstory a little bit, so that was great. One thing I really liked, I'll say right away, is the villain exposition. I waited for that last week when Angelina, when Mama is dying, and that kind of, in my opinion, was a little bad, that scene, because it's like she got killed by like random machines, and it felt kind of weird because the circuit machine has been very built up, right? And then these non-circuit machines comes and use own stuff like nothing, right? It was like, how did they do that? Yeah, and there was no bad guy there and so on. But now it is we get it like, yeah, she was a mistake, and we get that tip, I am the bad guy. So that was great. That was really great, and I think it heavily pushes that Sadayoshi Dean is the evil brother, right? By Genius one, right? Because it's like, because how does he know to build automata? He can even build the Zonpha disease, which actually is like small robots, right? Small machines. He can build that stuff, like, the brother. He can build better automata, apparently, right? He can also build puppets for that matter, so he has a lot of skills. And I really wish that was displayed how he's so skillful at everything, but I guess he's the brother that's probably going to be revealed eventually. But just generally too, right? He could do all of that stuff, and he also knows like we don't know where he come from. So he was there in the Shirogane army, kind of right, yeah. So with all of that, and maybe the most important thing, he's obsessed with Shirogane Eleanor, right? Because she looks exactly like Francine. And he was obsessed with Angelina, that looks like Francine. Looks like other Francine. See what I mean? So it's like, I wonder why he really likes that Shirogane. So he's probably the brother. I think it really points to that. Not only did he, when I get the soft stone to kind of like, become immortal by like downloading his body to the next body, right? Which he probably has already done, right? That's why he changed his body from, the Chinese into this Dean guy, right? It's probably how it works. And then I want to do it again, right? But also because he could auto get the boost of getting Shirogane, the latest Francine version. So it's like, it has to be him. I cannot see it not being anyone else. It has to be the brother, even brother, yeah. Why else would it be? Like, it feels like it's so heavily pointed to that. And also generally, again, that he has all the skills that no one else has. He can build automata and so on that no one else can do, right? It's but yeah, I hope we can explain something like that. That being said, though, I think that Shirogane's father's seed was a pretty good seed. You can get how she got the fans one. She's obviously way older than she looks, like 16, but she's like 160, right? But I did think his mom was a little stupid, to be honest. He was like, oh no, I have to raise her as an orphan. She was like, why does it be an orphan? What? To protect her, but not really. And then when he gets to her evil old grandma, kind of, right, and like tortured her, right? He gets to her. She's completely broken because grandma is crazy, so she's like broken her own granddaughter, right? To be this like horrible puppet machine thing, and he's like, "No, I want to have a peaceful life." It's like, then you probably should have lent her to a guy to send her, to evil old revenge-seeking grandma, right? That was weird. You should not have done that. Yeah, I was like, how do you think this is gonna turn out? Is gonna get her now, like 40 years later, because she apparently she aged very, very slowly, right? Like 20 years to become like a 10-year-old or 6-year-old or that. Whatever, right? Yeah. And he thinks that now, after like 50 years, she's gonna be like, I have a happy life. Even though she got like horribly trained for also her life, right? Really weird. So I feel that the grandpa part there was just stupid. I felt that was just silly. Why would he believe that? Like, why would he ever think that? Especially, why would he think that Lucille wouldn't train her, in a rough, tough love way, right? And she probably knows his high granddaughter, right? Because she looks exactly like her own daughter and her aunt. So she probably knows, right? Yeah, why would she not train her? That was stupid. I didn't like it because otherwise Grandpa's like a retelling character. Because him later he fights even brother, right? Or even brother, but if I saw the Yoshi, very likely even bro, and he fights him. And then he's really intelligent, right? He's a very good fighter, he's a good intelligent, good parent and so on. So I just think that the whole moment with him not understanding how his daughter was going to turn out living there for so many years, that was what I mean, right? That was stupid. Like, why would he not figure that out? So this like, characterization is like kind of mixing. It's like kind of stupid, kind of hoping there. It's really intelligent, the planning. And I don't like when they kind of mix that. It felt like he should be a way more kind of, I don't know, a naive fool to kind of like think that, but then he isn't a naive fool anywhere else in the storyline. So, I mean, whatever. Then it gets really weird though. I think that Sadayoshi actually kept living with him for like 150 years. So he killed his adoptive mother. And then he just kept living with his adoptive father, right? You know, for like at least 100 years. And I think that story, I liked it all comes together. And again, it has to be the brother, right? But I think the story was a little weird done in a way. It felt like a little unbelievable. In the sense that suddenly his son is like, oh, I'm crazy, here's my will, Dad, I'm gonna murder everyone. And it's like, what? Yeah, it felt weird. I think a big mistake here is that are you supposed to think that he was like a normal, you know, a great aid of a son that helped him with puppetry and the industry and so on, and the beady puppets and making money and all that. Did he do like a good job and was a normal person? Because I think it's a big mistake that we as the viewer never see him being a normal son to him. You see him like, he's never there in the backstory, even though it's like kind of hiding him, but he's never there, which I think is a big mistake too, in my opinion, very big mistake. But then eventually, he's suddenly finally here, right? He's focused in the current backstory. And he's just like, he's loco. He's like, oh, murder and this thing. I'm just joking, Daddy. He's like that, right? He's like maximum craziness right away. And it doesn't feel believable for a second that Grandpa was sitting there being like, whoa, my son is crazy. Like, he raised him, or he lived with him, kind of raised him, right, whatever, weirdly. But you know what I mean? For 100 plus years, right? And then suddenly he snaps. That is kind of how it feels. That he's like, bam. But the Grandpa doesn't react to it. He's like, okay. He reacts, but enough, I mean. He's like, whoa, he's crazy. But it's probably fine. It's kind of like that, yeah. It's like, so he was like that all the time. Then wouldn't you expect him to actually be and kill your wife? Because you know he wanted your wife and so on. He also missed it later on, right? But it's like, it was pretty obvious. It was like, I guess he was like a normal, you know, kid, right, to him for all these years until this like Masuru plotline arrives. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna get to into my own son, perfect, and get Shirogane. I actually really like that plan. I actually think, from his perspective, the evil guy, I think this was very good written. I think that the mistake there is that we never see him acting anywhere as a normal person to Grandpa, and that if it's like Grandpa's part is you know, weird. Like, either he was always crazy and Grandpa just accepted it, and then Grandpa should be like, what's happening now? Yeah, Grandpa should be like, I should be doing that. So that's kind of weird, right? Or otherwise, you suddenly snap after such a long living time, talking about plus 150 years, right? Yeah, and then Grandpa's still like, oh, he's crazy, but whatever. And 20 years later, he's probably to stop him, right? So I feel like that's a big mistake there. He should have been more in the story from the beginning, during the whole birth of Eleanor. So one, maybe not all the time, but a little bit, right? Should be more in the story there. He was completely absent during the storyline. Never was explained, never made sense. That's weird, I think, overall. Bad mistake, I think. And then here, he returns again, but as soon as he's returned to the storyline, he's just loco right away, right? So we never see him being a normal person. So it never makes any sense to adapt him and so on. Yeah, it's like weird. But I guess that's like his true evil self appearing there. And I don't mind it. I just mind we have to see him acting as a normal person until he's evil, right? So it's believable that Grandpa and Grandma and Angelina would live with him and so for so many years before it was crazy. Yeah. Well, I mean, not turn crazy, but especially if it's a brother, he would hide his actual persona until he can get the Francine or Angelina or the Ellen or, you know what I mean? Yeah. Get that, the Francine clone, right? So of course he would pretend to be a normal guy. And yeah, that is fine, but we never see him doing that. So I think that's a weird mistake. I mean, I overall liked the episode. I think it's a good episode. But I think, again, that kind of feeds on the issue last week where it's like, where is the bad guy here? There's this automata that are way better than other automatas for some reason. Or Angelina and they're really weak or something. Yeah, one of those things. Guys also weak here apparently. But they can fly around and beat stuff easily later on. Those guys seemed way more intimidating, the bomb guys in the sky. So these like, I mean, they feel like low level automata, right? In my opinion, these guys, and they're winning over them. But they can beat, I know it's true, but they can beat like the level 50 guys easily. You know, so it feels weird, yeah. They lack that kind of bad guy, you know, in the background explaining why it works, like, yeah. And even in this episode, he never explained, he admitted he killed her, but not how he beat the machine. So I hope that the next episode then is gonna finally like cement that his brother probably, but it's not a brother. Someone else's guy that got the twins, research or whatever. Right? They got the whole. Oh, I can do both powers, so I can combine my puppetry and machinery. Because I mean, the older one, I mean, the good brother is more like a puppet guy. I don't know what other guy, yeah. But this guy combined that, something like that. You know what I mean? Like something like that, right? And I feel that is like lacking still his not motivation, but like his true backstory, right? Yeah. So that's hopefully coming next week. And but I still feel like it should have been a few scenes where he was, like living with them, being normal. I mean, he's pretending to be normal, right? Hiding his true evil, right? And that is completely lacking. So I think that that is a mistake, I feel, and that probably can't be solved. That being said, though, it's probably way worse in the anime than the manga, right? I mean, anime has high pacing. The manga might have more to do with that, but honestly, I kind of doubt it because I feel like it's weirdly narrative there. He kind of disappears for so many episodes, or the whole Black Sword at least. Yeah, it appears like the last 3 episodes he's gone, and then it's back. It feels like did the anime do the mistake, or did it have to work with to begin with? I have to say that because I feel a little bit like the manga is probably better with this thing because it's better paced, right? Very very likely so, but I still feel like he probably was gone in the manga too, right? That's my assumption. Haven't read it, but I feel like the author probably just didn't have him for like 50 chapters as well. I guess. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, comment if you know the truth, but I think I'm right. I think he probably wasn't in the story at all. And then it appeared again, and it's crazy. That's what I think happened in the manga too. It feels like that to me. I mean, I have read enough mangas. I have read a couple of thousand mangas. I know the narration, usually how it works, and how the anime manga usually goes. And yes, they're really high paced. But I mean, he might be in there every now and then, but it's probably like he's probably there too little, in my opinion. Because I want a lot more of him in the backstory. I think I said the same last week too, right? And even though I got him here, I felt like he was, half in the episode, and when we got him, he was ready, evil and crazy, and it didn't make any sense to me. I mean, I really love his plan to get Shirogane. Oh, Masuru is your kid. Love Masuru. I actually really love his plan. It's like his reveal of a plan. And how he killed her and his abilities and so on. That was great. All of him was great. But I wish we had more of him, and also him being, not evil, right? Yeah, pretending to be good. That is sort of lacking, I feel. Like his evil part was really, really good. But then it's like his evil part was even better if you saw him pretending to be the nice guy before, right? The nice, humble son or whatever. Yeah. It's still lacking that, the contrast of, the evil reveal thing. It's just him revealed to be evil, but he's never been a good guy, he's just been evil. So the reveal itself is very weak, because like, I'm evil! It's like, yeah, we kind of all know that, because you were like, plans! First time we saw you, so we all know you're evil, right? It's like, yeah, we know that. From the viewer standpoint, he's clearly evil. He's gonna come in there later and be like, oh, it's me to kill your wife. It's like, yeah, obviously. Like, that's so obvious, right? It's so extremely predictable. Something like that. Anyway, hope that's review. See you guys tomorrow with Boogie Pop, probably first. Episode like 14, I think. It was like 4 episodes on Sunday. And I'll see you guys.